I kind of want to use that sound. I'm not saying she deserved it, but God's timing is always right. But I don't think I can be that flippant. For a year and a half, I have been harassed by a wife of a creepy man who came into my DMs. This woman is the reason why I do not tell wives or girlfriends about the actions of these men. Her story happened years and years ago when I was 19, before the pandemic and before TikTok. I've talked about this in friends only posts several times because this woman has harassed me constantly. But this is the first time I'm addressing it publicly. I want to be very careful what I say because this woman does have children, and I do not want these children to be brought into this drama. Why am I addressing it now? Well, today I found out she is going to jail. Not because of the things she did to me, but for other reasons that I'm not going to get into for the sake of the children. Let me be very clear. I am not happy right now. No part of this story is happy, but I am very, very relieved. Back in 2019, there was a particularly egregious man in my DMs, and I saw that he was married, so I contacted the wife, the woman who is now in jail. She did not believe me. She cursed me. She threatened me, and I said, all right, and I left her. A week later, she came back and said she confronted him and she was leaving him, and she asked if she could speak to me. I gave her my phone number. We spoke on the phone for over an hour. She was devastated. I was devastated because they had 3 small children together, and she was pregnant. I told her she could call me whenever she needed to, and I gave her my personal email, which is not the email you all have access to. She ended up staying with the husband, and we did not talk at all until I started doing the creepy men stories. She saw the series and was convinced one of the stories was hers. It wasn't. I was never going to tell her story because I felt it was too sad and I was personally invested in it. She threatened to sue me, and I'm looking at the clock and I'm realizing that we're going to have to do a part 2. I'm so sorry. I hate to be that person. Have a hug, a cookie, and a juice box and wait for part 2. Part 2 of a wife of a creepy conservative man who came into my DMs, who has been harassing me for over a year and a half, who got arrested today. Story time. If you haven't seen part 1, go back and watch it. I'm sorry I'm doing a 2-parter, but She was not arrested for harassing me. She was arrested on other charges, and we're not going into that because she has children, and I do not want to expose the children to the drama, which is why we're not naming her. This woman threatened to sue me. I knew she would not be able to sue me because 1, I did not tell her and her husband's story. 2, I could prove what her husband had sent to me. And 3, I've spoken to lawyers who have told me how to word things in my videos to avoid lawsuits. She had my phone number because back in 2019, I did speak to her on the phone when she was very distraught over her husband's infidelity. I'm a good person like that. She started giving my phone number out to all the telemarketers and religions. I will say, as a form of revenge, this was very clever, but since I had done nothing to this woman, it was completely unmerited, and also, don't do that, it's just tacky. I'd also given her my personal email, which she also signed up for every spam thing you could sign it up for. I know that's really just annoying. That is just the tip of the harassment. She has sent packages, I'm not going to disclose what was in them, to my P.O. box, but I will say there is a reason anything sent to my P.O. box that I don't just give out online anymore is opened before I open it on camera, even if I know who sent it. And I have no proof, but last year I had a really hard time getting a Twitter page taken down that was dedicated to photoshopping my face on the bodies of vintage naked ladies. I know all of this sounds very mild and laughable if you're looking at it from the outside, but I have been very afraid of this woman because she is quite unstable. And I feel very justified in my fear given that she was just arrested on another crime. As I said in the first video, I am not happy right now. I am relieved. This is not a happy story. It's a very sad story all around. So I just think we should take a moment to remember that there are 4 children involved in this story. So yeah, that's it. All right, everyone. I love you. Have a hug, a cookie, and a juice box, and thank you for supporting me and watching this 2-part video.